Hello, everyone. Welcome to Learn English podcast.
History of Japan. Learn English through story. Level 2.
Are ready to level up your English. Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey. 1. Introduction. Japan is a country made of many islands. It has a very long and interesting history. This history starts a very long time ago with islands that had many old stories and myths. It comes to today when Japan is a major country for technology around the world. The story of Japan is about being strong and finding new ways to do things. Japan was sometimes separate from other countries for many years, but it changed a lot over time. It learned new things and also kept its own culture and traditions. This book will take you on this long journey. You will travel through thousands of years of Japan's past. You will see how Japan changed again and again. You will learn about how a country can be strong, adapt to new times, and keep its old traditions important. This is the story of Japan. It is an epic story of a nation that rebuilt itself. A very long time ago, the first people came to the islands of Japan. They lived there for many years. This time is called the Jaimin period. These people were hunter-gatherers. This means they found their food from nature. They hunted animals like deer and wild pigs. They also collected plants and nuts. They lived in simple houses, often dug into the ground, called pit dwellings. The Jaimin people made special pottery. It often had patterns made with rope. They also had early beliefs about nature and made small clay figures. Later, new people came to Japan, perhaps from the Korean peninsula. This was the start of the Yayai period. These new people brought important changes. The biggest change was farming, especially growing rice in wet fields. Rice farming meant people could grow a lot of food in one place. They did not need to move around so much. More food meant more people could live together. The new people also brought metal. They learned to use bronze and iron. They made tools for farming and weapons for fighting from these metals. Life became different. Some people became more powerful than others. Small villages grew into bigger groups, like early small countries or chiefdoms. After the Yayai period came the Kofun period. Powerful families, called clans, became very strong. One of these clans was the Yamato clan. They started to rule a large area of Japan. This was the beginning of the Yamato state. These powerful leaders built very big tombs for themselves and their families when they died. These tombs were often shaped like a keyhole when seen from above. They are called kafun, and the period is named after them. Building these big tombs showed how much power these leaders had. Early ideas that would become the Shinto religion also started to take shape during this time. Ideas from mainland Asia also came to Japan during these early periods, especially in the Kofun time. People from countries like Korea brought new knowledge. An important new idea was a writing system. Before this, the people in Japan did not have a way to write things down. Another very big change was the arrival of a new religion called Buddhism. Buddhism came from Korea. These new ideas from other parts of Asia helped the Yamato state grow stronger and changed the way people lived and thought in Japan. The samurai arrive. Life in Japan changed over time. After the Kofun period, the imperial court lived in a beautiful new capital city. This time is called the Heian period. People at the court enjoyed art, writing, poems, and music. Life there was very elegant and focused on culture. However, the people at the court in the capital city became less interested in ruling the country far away. They focused more on things happening inside the court. Because of this, the emperor's power became weak in the areas far from the capital. In the countryside, strong families started to grow powerful. These families had their own fighters, called samurai. The samurai were skilled warriors who served their lords. Two of the most powerful warrior families were the Tara clan and the Minamoto clan. These two families were rivals. They fought for power over Japan. This led to a big and important war between the Tara and the Minamoto clans. The war lasted for several years and changed Japan greatly. In the end, the Minamoto clan won the war. The leader of the winning Minamoto clan was a man named Minamoto no Yoritomo. Yoritomo did not become the emperor, who stayed in the capital city. Instead, Yoritomo created a new government. This government was a military government. He set up his government far away from the emperor's capital, in a place called Kamakura. In the year 1192, the emperor gave Yoritomo a special title, shogun. The shogun was like a great general or a military ruler. The shogun held the real power in Japan, not the emperor. This was the start of a long time when military leaders ruled the country. The samurai who fought for the shogun and the powerful warrior families became very important people in Japanese society. They followed strict rules for how to live and fight. 4. A time of many wars. After the first shogun, Japan faced new dangers. A strong empire called the Mongol Empire wanted to rule Japan. The Mongols came by sea 2 times. The first time was in 1274. The second time was in 1281. Both times, big storms stopped the Mongol ships. These storms were like a gift from the sky for Japan. People called them divine winds. Japan was safe, but fighting the Mongols was very expensive. The military government, the shogunate, spent a lot of money. Because of this, the shogunate became weak. Many samurai, who were the warriors, did not get paid. This made the samurai unhappy with the government. In the year 1333, the emperor tried to take power back. He was successful for a short time. But then a new leader became shogun. Power was not strong in one place anymore. Instead, strong regional lords held the real power. These lords were called daimyo. Each daimyo controlled land and had their own samurai. They often fought with each other. They wanted more land and more power. This led to many small wars across Japan. In the year 1467, a big war started. This war was called the Onin War. It lasted for 10 years. It made the country even more broken. After this war, Japan had no strong central government for a long time. This time is known as the Sengoku period, or the Warring States period. It lasted for about 100 years. During this time, the daimyo fought many battles. Different kinds of fighters appeared. There were samurai, of course, but also new types of fighters, like ninjas. Ninjas did secret jobs like getting information or surprise attacks. Buddhist monks, who were trained to fight, also joined the battles. The Sengoku period was a time of much fighting and change. The old ways were breaking down. New things were coming. One important new thing came from far away. In the year 1543, Europeans arrived in Japan for the first time. They brought new things that the Japanese people did not know. One of the most important things they brought was guns. Guns were loud and powerful weapons. They changed the way people fought wars. Lords who used guns well could win battles more easily. Many daimyo wanted these new weapons to help them defeat their enemies. The Portuguese traders also brought a new religion called Christianity. Some Japanese people became Christians, and this sometimes helped. It meant that his enemies were defeated, and he was the strongest person in Japan. Because he won this great battle, Tokugawa Ieyasu became the new ruler of the country. His family would rule Japan for a very long time after this. After the big battle, Tokugawa Ieyasu became the new ruler of Japan. His family started a long period of peace. This time is called the Edo period. It lasted for a very long time, more than 250 years. The government moved to a city called Edo. Today, Edo is the large city of Tokyo. During this long time of peace, Japan was very stable. The country did not have many wars inside its borders. This peace helped Japan to grow. Arts and culture became very popular. Cities became bigger and bigger. People lived well, and the economy was strong. It was a time of good life for many people. But the government also made big changes. They wanted to stop foreign influences from coming into Japan. They were worried about new ideas and the spread of Christianity. So the government closed Japan's borders. This policy was called sakoku. It means a closed country. Almost all foreigners could not enter Japan. Also, Japanese people were not allowed to leave the country. If they left, they could not come back. Japanese people were also not allowed to build big ships to travel far away. Only limited trade was allowed with a few countries like China and Korea. The only Europeans allowed to trade were the Dutch. They could only stay on a small island called Dejima, near the city of Nagasaki. This closed country policy helped the government keep control. For over 200 years, Japan lived mostly separate from the rest of the world. The population grew a lot, reaching about 30 million people. The government built roads and schools. This helped the country's economy and made society better. However, after many years, problems started. The growth in farming stopped. There were bad times with not enough food in the 1830s. The government did not help people well during these times. But even with these problems later on, the Edo period was a long time of peace and growth for Japan. Some ideas from the outside world, like science from Dutch books, slowly came into Japan, even with the closed borders. For more than 200 years, Japan was closed to most of the world. This time was peaceful, but the government, led by the shogun, was not as strong as before. In the middle of the 1800s, countries in the West were growing very powerful. They had modern ships and guns. In 1853, ships from the United States arrived in Japan. They were led by a man named Commodore Matthew Perry. These ships were black and big, and they had powerful cannons. The American government wanted Japan to open its doors for trade. They wanted to buy and sell things with Japan. The shogun's government saw that the American ships were very strong. Japan did not have the power to fight them, so the shogun had to say yes. Japan agreed to open some ports to trade with the United States. Later, Japan also opened ports to other Western countries like Britain and Russia. Many people in Japan were not happy about this. They thought the shogun made a bad decision. They felt the shogun was weak because he had to listen to the foreigners. Some powerful lords in the south of Japan were especially angry. They thought the emperor should have the real power, not the shogun. These unhappy lords started a rebellion in 1868. They fought against the shogun's army. The Emperor Meiji was young, and these lords supported him. The shogun's government was defeated. Power returned to the emperor. This event is called the Meiji Restoration. It was a very important time for Japan. The country decided it needed to change quickly to become strong like the Western nations. The emperor's government moved the capital from Kyoto to Edo, which was renamed Tokyo. Japan began to modernize very fast. They built railways so people and goods could travel quickly. They put up telegraph lines for fast communication. They created a new system for education so everyone could go to school. They also allowed Christianity again after many years. Japan invited many people from Western countries to come and teach them. These advisors helped Japan learn about new science, building, banking, and laws. The government also built a modern army and navy, learning new ways to fight. This time of fast change meant the old ways were ending. The samurai, who were the traditional warriors, lost their special role. There was a final fight with some samurai who did not want the changes, but the new modern army won. Japan quickly changed from a closed country to one that was learning from the world. It wanted to become a strong nation like the ones that had forced it to open its doors. 8. War and a New Japan. After Japan opened to the world, it quickly became modern. It built a strong army and navy. Japan started to use this new power. It wanted to have an empire like countries in the West. Japan fought a war against China in the 1990s. Japan won this war. It also fought a war against Russia in the early 2000s and won. These wins showed that Japan was now a strong country in Asia. The military leaders in Japan became more and more powerful. They had a big influence on the government. Japan continued to expand its control in Asia. It took over Korea in 1910. Japan joined the First World War on the side of Britain and other countries. After the war, Japan was seen as a major power in the world. But the military wanted even more land and power. In the 1930s, Japan's military invaded more parts of China. This caused the Second Sino-Japanese War. The United States and other countries did not like Japan's actions. They stopped selling important things to Japan, like oil and metal. This made the situation very tense. Japan's military leaders decided to fight against the United States and its allies. They planned a surprise attack. On December 7, 1941, Japan attacked American ships at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. This event started the war between Japan and the United States. The war in the Pacific Ocean was long and hard. Japan fought against the United States, Britain, and other countries. There was fighting on many islands. The United States made progress slowly towards Japan. The fighting was very difficult, and many soldiers died. To end the war, the United States used a new and terrible weapon. On August 9, 1945, America dropped atomic bombs on two Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These bombs caused great destruction and killed many people. After the second bomb, the emperor announced that Japan would stop fighting. The war was over. After the war, Japan was occupied by forces led by the United States. This time brought big changes to Japan. The military was stopped. Japan wrote a new constitution. This constitution said that Japan would not have an army to fight wars. The emperor's role changed. He was no longer seen as a god. Japan became a democracy where people could vote for their leaders. The country was badly damaged by the war, but the Japanese people worked very hard to rebuild. The government focused on making the economy strong again instead of fighting wars. Japan started to make many goods like cars and electronics for the world. Japan's economy grew very fast. By the 1960s, Japan was one of the biggest economies in the world. Japan became a leader in technology and trade. It showed the world that a country could become strong and successful without a large military. The time after the war was a period of peace and economic growth for Japan. It became the modern country we know today, focusing on technology, business, and peace.